Hi, this is a Jing to explain community service, which is an assignment that you must do this semester to get credit for your community service. And even if you've already done community service, it's part of this class. And what you need to do is pick an organization that you're going to volunteer at for 20 hours. Now this is the description off of the syllabus, and there's a couple of incorrect information here that I do want to make correct for you. As soon as it appears, I can talk to you a little bit about it. First of all, in the first paragraph, you must reflect on these 3 bullets. Okay, and I will talk further about that. That's the first thing in case you click on this document. You are to pick an organization. It can be organizations such as Boys and Girls Club, Scouts, 4-H, any civic group, any community service site that will allow you to volunteer, you could pretty much use. You'll need to fill out a description of your community service and put that on your social studies journal so that I can take a look at that and just make sure we are mutually agreed on what you're planning to do. It does say here that there's a completed timesheet, but that is not the case anymore. You're going to document your hours in your journal. You're going to create a journal, and of each time that you attend your organization, any hours you put in as a volunteer, and you need to make sure you do 20 hours, not 25, 20. And I will note that and see that when I view your journal. And that is what you're going to be creating. One of the things you're going to be creating is a journal of the times you spend with your organization. Again, the date and the amount of time you spend each time. And you're going to also research your organization in using APA style, 6th edition. You're going to include citations. And then you are going to create a Jing or a video of your experience. That's in the description. We're going to move ahead and look at the next document, which is the form you're going to fill out prior to doing your community service. So if you've already started your community service, you didn't need to fill this out immediately and put it in your social studies journal. Again, your name, the site, the address, the purpose or description of the agency, the duties that you are expected to complete, and the contact person, your supervisor, and the title of that person. Put that in your social studies journal. The next document is the learning target. This is the most important document here because this tells you what you need to do. The learning target says I will, which means you, actively volunteer in a service organization for 20 hours a semester, assisting the organization in the achievement of its goals, and as a result of this community service, I will reflect on service as a component of active citizenship, community engagement, and social responsibility. I will demonstrate reciprocity and responsiveness in volunteer service with a community organization, and I will describe and analyze the social issues relevant to the community organization. Those 3 bullets are the most important piece of your reflection as well as your journal. So this project of this assignment includes a journal of each session attended, please note the date and amount of time spent, and if you want to, you can include images, videos, and you do need to include a Jing or a video that you created of your experience. Make sure your product consists of all the must-dos below here for a grade of C and the may-dos for a grade of B or better. In your must-dos, you must have a reflection journal that's focused and clearly written in dates and times. It has to include a response to the 3 learning targets above here, the 3 bulleted parts in your learning target. These 3 bullets, you must talk about that in your reflection. It needs to be correct grammar, syntax, and spelling. Examples that you use are specific and detailed. Reflections apply to society, not just to yourself. So what you've done and what your organization does that helps benefit society. You need to have a thorough consideration of the concept of service. You need to have a detailed discussion of the service's impact upon you, yourself. And you need to have a clear, deep understanding of the community organization for its served population. And you're going to produce a jing or video of your experience. So you'll have a journal, and you're also going to address those 3 bulleted points, and you're going to make sure it's clear and focused with correct grammar. If you use examples, that they're there, and that you not only apply to yourself, but apply your reflection to society. Those are the must-dos for a C. If you like a grade of B or better, you need to interview the supervisor for this experience. You can interview the supervisor for this experience. You could create a brochure for the organization and your endorsement of volunteering for this organization. You could include images in your journal, and I highly suggest that. You may embellish your work with other creative and beneficial enhancements, and you can always use a Web 2.0 tool to enhance your journal. You know where those are, and you can find those, and if you don't, ask me and I will send you a list of those again. So that's your learning target for this assignment, which is community service. The last document in this folder is the exemplar, one exemplar of community service. I'll click on that so you can take a look at that with me right now. Here you will find this form that she included with her journal, which is fine. You can certainly do that. She talked about her reflection. Again, we did not have the learning targets, so we may not have all the components that were in the learning target, designated learning target, to be in this experience. But you can see her journal here and some images that she wrote about it. And this is one way that you can create yours. Doesn't have to look like this, but this is one exemplar of, and this person did 2 organizations, so she made sure she got her 20 hours in because she thought she wouldn't with just the one. But you're welcome just to do one as long as you cover the 20 hours. And that is the explanation for your assignment, the community service experience. If you have questions, you can certainly ask me, and I wish you lots of luck on this assignment.